Alright, hello and welcome to another UltimateGameHost video. Today we're going to be going over the new control panel features for version 4.0. I'm going to demonstrate them with a Gary's Mod server here as an example because most of the new features apply to that. However, there are some for the other games that I'll mention as we go through. To start with, we have some new add-ons. The add-ons tab. We've added Half-Life 2 Episode 1 content for Gary's Mod here in this section where you can check the different games that you want added. We've also added a common add-on here as Evolvemod for an admin plugin, so you can have that installed. There's a little bit of work needed to be done on the console when you first log into the server to make you the owner or admin of the server, but that's not too bad, and we have a guide for that at the link. We've also, ASMod is still available, but it's deprecated. It's no longer, I guess, officially supported. There's no one developing it to our knowledge, and we still offer some features of it still work, but a lot of it doesn't since recent Gary's Mod updates. We have for the other games, Mattie Eventscripts and Mattie Eventscripts have been added to those for the mods available to install, so you have more choices in addition to Source Mod and AMX Mod X now for a lot of those games. Moving on to the Extras tab, we have a new feature here, the Mysql database feature. And this lets you set up a database that's local to the game server and can only be used by the local game server. That will work for an admin mod, or if you have like an RP mod for Gary's Mod, that sort of thing. So we'll test that out here a little bit. I'm going to check the box for create a local MySQL database and click apply. And just like that, it's done. The database is created. I'm going to click OK on that. We're going to refresh the browser. And when that comes back, we'll go back to the Extras tab, MySQL database. And now we have a database actually available to us. And I'll load up a file. And this is one of the beautiful things here, is that I can take the contents of that file and copy and paste them down here into the command window. We'll do run SQL, and it's going to run those commands against our database. I'm going to hit the clear button here so I can run a couple things. So we'll do a show databases here. You can use your standard SQL syntax here to talk to your individual database. And so there's our database. And I'll do show tables as well, just to show off a little more of the SQL you can do here. And to make sure that the SQL imported correctly, you can do a describe for a particular table. And there you have it. Shows up what you've got in the database and you're ready to go. And when you're ready to configure your mod or your game mode to use the database, you just click on login info up here and you get all the usual information you need when configuring your game. Your host name, the port, the database name, username, and password for the database. It's all available. It's unique to that database and ready to use in your game. So it's quick and easy to get yourself set up with a database. And if you happen to make a mistake with the database, or it gets corrupted, or you're getting errors and you want to redo your initial create statement for the database that we copy pasted in before, you can click on reinstall database. It asks you if you're sure, because if you can't get it back, click yes. And you're done. The database is recreated. So if I tried show database now, we have that. And if I did show tables, it will be emptied out. There we go. All right, so that's another exciting feature. I should note that it's a separate database from the one in the website section of extras for things like HLStatsX or Joomla, that sort of thing. Now, another feature we do for Gmod related to the MySQL database is we automatically copy the libmysql DLL files to your Orangebox folder so that they're all there ready to use for whatever you need them for with that database. Okay. So the next feature we have here is the console logs section, and this is entirely brand new for version 4. This is kind of meant to help you see what's going on with your server, troubleshoot problems, and quickly get yourself to a resolution of those problems. So let's take a look here. We'll check out the console output first. And this is the the logs generated by the condebug command on the command line when you enable it through this control. So you can either disable or enable. And what this lets you do is see the last 5 boots of the server. So you can actually look in these logs and see what's gone on the server. So if we look here at this one from May 13th, let's go ahead and hit view here, and it shows up in the browser. And you can see we've got the log here. You can see the GarysMod server mounting the content, getting ready, loading up the map. You can see a player joining here. And this is all well and good, but sometimes you want to get right to the heart of the issue if you're having something you're looking for. So we've created a checkbox here, which you can click, which then highlights things in color. So you can get warnings in orange, errors show up in red, and blue shows player connect, disconnect, things that we thought would be of interest to server administrators when they're looking through these. And you can also, to make it easier, because these logs can sometimes get pretty long, you can click show only highlighted lines, and you'll only get those lines that are in color. And you can even sort that down to the error warning or connect disconnect level so that you just see the parts of the log that are relevant to what you're working on at the moment. So let's see that in action. I'm going to collapse this. We'll collapse this as well. I'm going to go over to the config, and what I've done earlier is I've uploaded a fake map to the server. This is a pretty common problem. Either you upload a file that doesn't work as a map, or it's a little bit corrupt, and you end up with something you can't really use on the game server. So what I'm going to do here is change the default map to badmap.bsp and click apply. And we'll let the server go ahead and restart here. It'll take it a couple seconds to do that. I'll just kind of do a refresh here to see where it is. All right, so the server is currently down. All right, so now let's see how this thing appears to be working. So we'll go over to the console logs, check the console output. I'm going to click refresh here to get the latest logs. You can see we have a new log here. It's 1.23 kilobytes. I'm going to click view here. Let's see what we've got. So here's our log. It's not entirely clear where the problem is. So let's go ahead and click on our highlighting up here, the checkbox, and we'll scroll down the log. And there we go, right there in red, map load failed, bad map not found. And again, you can show only highlighted and drill that down even further to show only errors. And this will help you narrow down exactly what's going wrong with the server based on keywords that are highlighted as warnings, errors, and player information of connect, disconnect. Okay, so now that we've shown that error message here that the map failed to load, let's go ahead and correct that problem as well during this video. So I'm going to uncheck this box and this other one. We'll collapse this again. Collapse this. We'll go back to the config in the command line, and let's change the default map back to, let's do flat grass for a change here. We'll apply that. Click OK here. Under control, we'll do a refresh and we'll wait for the server to come back here. There we go, server's running. Go back to the console logs, click on refresh. We'll have a newer log here. It's 1.51 KB now. We'll do view here. We'll again turn on the highlighting. We'll scroll down first. So there's still the same couple warnings we had before, but now the server is actually started and up and running. And it started a new server log file as well. We'll do show only highlighted lines, and we have just the usual lines there for warnings, but the error is gone, and we're all set and ready to start playing on our server. And we were able to resolve this without ever having to go to FTP and download the logs, and do it all from the control panel, figure out what's going wrong, and fix it. That's the whole point of this section. Now we'll take a quick look at the server log section of this. You can enable or disable it, and what this does, I'll refresh here just to get an idea how many files. We have 5 server log files, and you can view these in the browser. Basically brings up the FTP link so you can look at the entire log if you want. So here's the new one that was just created when we fixed the server. So that exists now. And let's see, let's find a term in here. Do VAC, for instance. So what I'm going to do is take VAC. Let's say we wanted to find .spac and all of those server logs. We don't want to look through them one at a time or download them all to your computer and search through them there. We can search here in the browser for it. It takes a couple seconds, but it returns it. You can see it found that line in 5 of the files, and it gives which file it is and the actual line that contains it. And if we were looking for, let's say, a Steam ID, we'll type part of one here for just as a test. We'll search for that. And again, we get back highlighted search results that'll help you narrow down things. You could search for the Steam ID of someone you're looking for to add as admin, or somebody who said something in chat that wasn't nice, whatever you're looking for, and quickly find and narrow down where it is and which log file it's in as well, for either resolving the problem or helping you keep track of things. We're going to add support for this for the other games for SourceMod and AMX Mod X logs, so you'll actually be able to search and view those as well in this same interface without leaving the browser. All about the experience of troubleshooting and configuring your server as efficiently as possible to get you back in the game and playing where we want you. That's it for this video. Thank you for watching.